Hello and welcome to ELI University. My name is Danny, and today we're going to be talking about importing a CSV file from the survey group and building an existing surface from that information. So the first thing we want to do is up in our ribbon, we go to the Insert tab and click Points from File. This is going to bring up the Import Points dialog. We click the green plus sign over on the right. This is where we select our CSV file. So right now I'm already looking at the one that we want to use. I'm going to single click it. I'm going to click open. Now, the import points dialog is very important. It doesn't automatically make an assumption of what type of CSV file we're working with. It doesn't know the exact comma delimited format that we might be using. So the third panel down gives you a preview of your CSV file. It's not all of the information in the CSV. It just gives you an idea of what the data looks like in that CSV. So right now it's default to ENZ, which is easting, northing, and point elevation, which is not going to do us any good because you'll notice in the easting column, these are actually the point numbers because they're sequential. We want to go to PNEZD, point, northing, easting, depth, and description. When you single left click PNEZD, you'll notice your preview changes. Point number is looking good, northing, easting, elevation, and the raw description. We're going to click OK, and you'll notice all your points come in. So what we want to do now is we want to determine which points we would use to build an existing service and which ones we can ignore. Things like fence posts and utility poles, we don't want those in the surface because even though all of those items have elevations, we don't necessarily want them as a representation of our surface. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the tool space. We're going to expand point groups. We're going to right click point groups and click new. Going to give it a name. Let's call it existing surface. Point style, we'll make it an X. Point label style, we will set to elevation only. We're going to click apply, but we don't want to click OK yet because right now, if we go up to our point list tab up here, there's nothing in here. Even though all of the points are in the file, we haven't given a definition to what points belong in this group. So there's the all points group, which is every single point in the file. And then there's the point group that we are creating that we want to pare the information down to just the existing ground shots, things like back of curb elevation, face of curb elevation, center line elevation, and so on and so forth. So what we want to do to populate this point list is go to our point groups tab and check all points. What this is going to do is it's going to show us all the points that are in the drawing. So let's expand our raw description column and expand our full description column so we can see what kind of points we're dealing with here. Let's sort by raw description. Raw description is an abbreviation. Full description is the full description. So things like AC units, we don't want to include that in our surface. But bottom of bank and brake line, building corner, ignore cables because those are underground. Center line of gas line we don't necessarily need. Center line of road we do need. Edge of concrete, edge of gravel, edge of pavement. These are all great things to include. So there's two different ways that we can include the points in here that we want to show as our surface. We can either go to raw description matching tab, which gives us a list of the codes which match the raw description list in our CSV, and it gives us the format, which is an abbreviated version of our full description. So let's go back to raw description matching. We said we wanted brake line. Let's check brake line. We definitely want ground point. We definitely want building. Let's rip down this list here. Rock wall, septic. We don't want signs. We don't want boulders. We don't want fence posts. Crosswalk might not be terrible. There probably aren't any in here, but it's not going to freak out if it doesn't find a C walk. Let's keep going down the list here. Overhead wire we can ignore. Cable we can ignore. Sanitary sewer. That would be a sanitary sewer top. Most likely. We'll grab that. Guy wire, irrigation. Here we go. Manhole. That's a good one. XMH. Cable manhole. That's another good one. Fiber optic manhole. Manhole gas, manhole power, sewer, telephone, water. Actually, let's go back up here and uncheck sanitary sewer because we have a sanitary sewer manhole down here. And we're also going to uncheck gas meter because the manholes are differentiated between what an actual manhole is or what those other codes are for. Back top of curb, that's a good one. Back top of wall, that's a good one. Bottom of bank, edge of concrete, edge of gravel. There's another way to do this if you don't want to fish all the way down this huge list. we can go back to our point list and we can look at the raw description or the full description. We can use either one of these to create a query. So all we're doing is we're telling Civil 3D, listen, we have all of these points, but we don't want to use all of these points in this group. We just want the points that can be used to create an existing surface. So let's see, center line of road would be a good one. Let's go to the include tab this time. Right now, everything that we checked in raw description matching is going to be shown in the include tab because we're telling it we want to use all of these different raw descriptions or point codes. We can also use with full descriptions matching. What we would need to do there is go back to our point list and go to center line of road, comma, space, back to the point list. Let's add edge of concrete. Let's add edge of gravel. Let's add edge of pavement. I'm going to click apply. And before we can see which points we've included using this query, we have to go back to the point groups tab and uncheck all points. So unchecking all points is going to go to the next step and say, okay, if you're not showing all the points, which ones do you want to show? In the include tab, we're telling it. So now if we go to the point list is going to look a lot different. It's still going to have a lot of those same points because it's all from the same list. But in this case, it's showing us bottom of bank, break line, building corner, center line of road, edge of gravel, edge of concrete, edge of pavement. At this point, we can click apply and click OK. We're not really going to notice many points disappearing behind that window, but we know that this group is using only the points that we told it to. So now from here, we can take this point group existing surface that we just created and create a surface directly from that. We're going to right click on surfaces, create surface. We're going to give it a name. We'll say existing, let's call it existing survey. Let's set it down to 1 in 5 contours. Okay, click OK here. Going to expand surfaces. We're going to expand existing survey. We're going to expand definition. And down here, third from the bottom, under definition is point groups. We're going to right click. We're going to click add. And it's going to show us that point group that we just created here as something that we can build a surface directly from. So I'm going to select existing surface. If you double click on it, it actually brings you into the point group properties. That's also good to know. Existing surface, I'm going to click apply. I'm going to click OK. Now you can see we have contours in here. It was that quick. We imported the CSV file. We told it, hey, we only want to see XYZ different point names based on the description. Add those different points to a group. Right click, add that group to a surface. Boom, we've got a surface. So that's the existing surface. Now, is it perfect? Probably not. There might have been some points in there that we missed. If that's the case, by editing this point group by right clicking on it and going to properties, we can get right back into that existing surface point group properties. Let's say we missed something. Let's go back to point groups. Let's check all points again. Let's go back to the point list. And let's say we forgot head wall, end wall, HW. Let's go back to include. We can either add HW under raw descriptions matching. We can go to the raw description matching tab and scroll down to find HW, which these are not in alphabetical order, which makes this a little bit harder. So it's almost better to look at your point list and say, I either need to add HW or type out head wall space end wall in parentheses. In this case, we're going to use HW. We're going to go back to the include tab. I'm going to put a comma. I'm going to say HW. I'm going to click apply. I'm going to click OK. And right when I did that, our existing surface said, hey, something just changed, because all of this information in this point group is tied to this surface through the point group definition. So we're going to right click on existing survey. We're going to hit rebuild, and our surface just changed. So those head walls were out there and we probably needed to show them. Now, a lot of this is shooting out into the middle of nowhere. There's a monument down here that it's trying to tie out to. There's an iron rod it's trying to tie out to here. But for the most part, you can quickly put together an existing surface based on just that CSV file that's sent from the surveyors. It's going to take a little bit of refining, but this will get you all the way into an existing surface very, very quickly with just the CSV file and just knowing how to import those points and pull out the points that you need into a group, which you then build your surface from. So that's it. Thanks for watching.